everybody, Gels from Fitment Industries FI Garage, and we are back with another episode of What Wheels Fit, and by popular demand, we are back with another episode for you Evo owners out there. However, this time, we're going to be going over the fitments for the Evo 8 and the Evo 9. Now, before we go ahead and get into it, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on all of the awesome wheel reviews, matchups, installs, and all the other cool stuff that we post on here. And of course, don't forget to check out fitmentindustries.com for everything wheel, tire, and suspension related. Anyway, the ever popular Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution saw the lovely Evo 8 come out in the year 2003, which was then later followed by the Evo 9 a few years later in 2005, and then of course replaced by the Evo 10 in 2008. However, these cars are highly sought after in the car scene and for a good reason, but we're not here to talk about why they're so great and why you should get one because they're awesome. We are here to talk about the fitment because that's like what we do. So let's go ahead and start throwing numbers all over the place as far as what wheels are going to fit your Evo 8 or Evo 9. So starting off, we have the good old guaranteed fitment range for your Evo 8 or 9 of 17 to 19 inches in diameter with widths good from 7 to 9.5 inches and offsets landing anywhere between plus 40 and plus 22. And of course, the bolt pattern, you're gonna be looking at 5x114.3. So that being said, if you're looking at anything that falls within those parameters, you're going to be good to go. Those are the guaranteed fitment ranges. However, it'd be lame if we just stopped there, wouldn't it? Right, so let's go over a few different fitment styles for these cars and what size wheels and tires are going to get you a certain type of fitment or the fitment that you are looking for. So usually we would go over the tucked fitment first, but guess what? Not a whole lot of people running a tucked setup on these cars, at least from what we see in our gallery. So starting off, let's go over the more popular flush fitment. Now we see a lot of flush fitment setups done on these cars because truly, it's what looks the best on them. In my opinion, it looks great. We see a lot of functional setups that offer a decent amount of tire and a good track stance. So the first car we're going to look at today is a 2004 Evo 8 rocking some Wed Sport TC 105s with a size of 18x9 plus 35 with a 255/35 Michelin Pilot Sport 4S sitting on some BC Racing coilovers. Now, I really like the setup because it does sit nice and flush and you're able to get a decent amount of tire on there as well without having to roll any fenders or modify any fender liners or anything like that. Next up, we have another 2004 Evo 8 that is bumped up a width a little bit, and we threw on some classic T37s with a size of 18x9.5 with a plus 22 offset. With, again, those Michelin Pilot Sport 4Ss, 245/40 this time. Again, sitting on BC Racing coilovers. Now this is a little more of aggressive fitment and there may be a little bit of poke on here as well. So if that is something that you don't want, you can still get away with a 9.5 wide, but maybe drop the offset to like a plus 35 or plus 38. And of course, this list wouldn't be complete without mentioning the RPF ones. So moving on in generation to the 2006 Evo sitting on some 17x9.5 plus 18 NKRPF ones, very common on these cars with some Hankook Ventus V12s, 255/40, again, on some BC Racing coils. On this setup, a quick note that the fenders are rolled to ensure that there's no rubbing or scrubbing with this wheel and tire combo. So overall, we see a lot of aggressive flush setups and some with just a tad bit of poke. 17s and 18s are the most common for these cars and widths of 9 to 9.5 for the most part, with offsets laying between plus 18 and plus 35, depending on what size tire you want to go with or if you want a more aggressive fitment or not. Now, if you like to live a little more on the edge of things and really want to get those bonus points and all that kind of good stuff, we have some other good examples over in our gallery as well, fitmentindustries.com, where we actually gathered all this information from. And even though these examples do have over fenders, and we just thought they deserved some mentioning because they're awesome. So first up, we have a 2006 Evo running some TE37Vs and an 18x11 negative offset with a 295/35 tire on some Fortune Auto coilovers. Now, at first glance, it wouldn't look like this car actually has over fenders or is wide body because it is a molded kit and it looks very, very nice. 18x11 -7, that's a big boy setup. Yeah. And then moving on to our last example for today is a 2004 Evo with some CCW Classics on a 17x12.5 -12 with some Toyo Peroxes 315/35 on air. Now this thing is wild to say the least. I mean, 12.5 wides on your Evo. All I'm saying, you know, it's an option if you want to do it. So there you have it, some good solid examples of what people are running on their Evo 8s and Evo 9s. Wed Sports, NKRPF 1s, and TE37s litter these cars as popular choices, but for a good reason. They look great. But that's going to wrap it up for this episode of What Wheels Fit. Don't forget to subscribe, check out the gallery, upload your car if you haven't already, and feel free to drop a comment on what car you would like us to cover next. I'm Gels from Fitment Industries FI Garage. We'll see you later. Peace.